Told you it's going to be long, bro. You know, quick thing you come around here, bro.
Well, I personally became aware of you.
Yeah.
Many years ago,
Right.
your 1989 debut album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Green Chimneys. Right.
On Urban Jazz Records.
Yes.
Label. And subsequently, 2 years later, The Blessing in Disguise on Polydor Records.
Yeah.
Please explain how you got the initial record deal for Green Chimneys and the personnel that you gathered.
Ah. Okay. So, are we rolling? Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So your initiation into the Watkiss sound was via Green Chimneys. Okay. So, Green Chimneys came about while I was still at Guildhall in '87, and I was doing some work with. Lisa Stansfield. I don't even remember the tune "People Hold On." Well, all the background, all the harmony you hear on there, it's all me doing layering till Kingdom Come. Doing all different high, low, mid, bass. I did all the voice on there, on that tune. Not a lot of people know that, but that's me on there. And she was signed to what are they called again? I can't remember who the label was now. But anyway, she was signed to, I think it was an independent label. And just one thing led to another, and they asked me if I was interested in doing a record. Got my friend manager to start talking to these people. Then Polydor, there's a chap at Polydor that got interested. So, you know, it was kind of like, because we were on the scene and we were on the cover of all the magazines and, you know, all the hype and all the press and everything. So, you know, record companies were running around trying to sign the latest thing as they do, snap this up. Oh, this must be hot. Let's sign this, you know, oh, let's sign that. Oh, Cleveland Watkiss, yeah, we see his name. Oh, listen, you know, I mean, I can look back on it now and understand it, but at the time, you don't know. You're just going along, you know, and just sort of running with the kind of the stuff that's happening in that moment. Anyway, I ended up doing a deal with a subsidiary of Polydor, which they call Urban Jazz, but I was still at Guildhall at the time, and I was doing loads of different session stuff. I was doing some stuff with Pete Townsend for an album, a concept album that he put out called Iron Man, that had a host of amazing artists on there, from Nina Simone to John Lee Hooker. Man, if you've never heard this album, Iron Man, you should check it out, Pete Townsend's album. Anyway, so just connecting the dots. So I had this deal with Polydor. I was still at Guildhall, and I wanted to capture, one of the things that was in my head is that I wanted to capture this energy at the time. You know, Steve, Courtney, Jason, Becky Muzileku, Brian Abrahams, Simon Purcell. You know, there's all these musicians, man, that I was working with, interacting with on the scene, and I wanted to capture it somehow, and that's why I made that record, Green Chimneys, because at that time I discovered Monk, and for me,
hence the title track.
Hence the title track, Green Chimneys. And for me, Monk was the epitome of like the benchmark for what jazz, improvisation, composition, individuality, blackness, spiritual. It just, for me, when I discovered Monk, it was like everything. It was everything that I wanted to hear. So, and there was a deep connection with it, and I didn't understand at the time, but then I did. It's the rhythm, the reggae. Spoon, spoon, boom, spoon, spadoon, boom, spoon, 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 spadum, spoon, 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 spadum, spoon, 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 spadum, spoon. That's Black Caribbean understand that, them kind of rhythms. You understand? So there was a deep connection with the rhythmic aspects of Monk that drew the likes of myself and Orphy into that Orphy Robinson into that sound world. So what I was trying to do, as I said, I was trying to capture for Green Chimneys. I was trying to capture the mood and the spirit of that time. I was very conscious of that. So I had all these guests on there. Courtney was on there, Steve's on there, Jason Rebellin, Simon Purcell, Brian Abrahams, Becky Muzileku, Paul Hunt, who helped produce it, extraordinary bass player, but he's now a pastor now in the States. Just a whole host of musicians. I think Julian was supposed to play on there, but he was studying at Berkeley at the time, so he couldn't make Julian Joseph. Yeah, Julian Joseph was supposed to be on that record, but he was. We did end up using one of his compositions, "Incandescent Dreams," that finishes the album. Jason plays. It's a duet with myself and Jason, but Julian wrote that piece. So Green Chimneys was really about capturing that moment, the 80s.
Great tune. Track listing wise, what any particular favourites on that particular album on Green Chimneys? You've got Green Chimneys, Newborn, Is What Is, To a Songstress.
Well, that's the songstress. Oh, well, man, they all are, man. They all mean some different things, you know.
And you paid also tribute to
Billie Holiday.
To
a songstress, yeah.
Wonderful. And Seeds of Sin, which is
Wayne Shorter, yeah. Wayne Shorter, you know, Thelonious Monk, and then there's some originals on there. Newborn was a tribute to my niece that was born around that time.
And the young Mr. Paul Bradshaw did the line.
Yeah, you know, so Jean Toussaint's on there. I mean, you know, it was just about capturing the vibrations at the time. I ended up recording the album at Pete Townsend's studio, Eel Pie Studios, over in Twickenham, which no longer exists. Through my connection with him and the work that I was doing there, I was able to use the studio and record the album there. But what happened a few years ago was I got a call from Eel Pie Studio, Pete Townsend's studio, saying that we have your master tapes. Where can we send them? I was like, what? They sent me the master tapes, the Green Chimneys, which I have, reels and reels of tape. And I'm just like, wow, I need to deal with that at some point and rejig it and put it out.
Get it sonically recorded.
Exactly. No, I have the master tapes for all those sessions.
Wonderful. Okay, so then moving on to Blessing in Disguise. The aforementioned Tony Remy I just mentioned him.
Right.
He actually said that was one of those most enjoyable recording experiences to date.
Wow.
Working on that album.
Oh, bless you, Tony. Blessing in Disguise. Blessing in Disguise. I take my family to Jamaica. This was my first ever visit to the land of my parents. And it's quite life-changing when you that experience of seeing my grandmother for the first time, sitting in her garden and having conversations with your grandmother about her life and life in Jamaica, the Caribbean, you know. And again, you know, I'm a person, man. You suck everything in. You absorb stuff. And when I got back from Jamaica, I I wanted to tell the story, my story, but I wanted to do it in a way that was just true and honest to how I was feeling about it, and where I was musically at the time. So, Blessed in Disguise, each piece on that album really just tells about my experiences about being in the Caribbean. There's a tune on there called Bag Orange, Conscious Mind, Know Your Worth, The River. What else is on there?
It set the people's ears alight for numerous reasons. Your reworking of William DeVaughn's "Be Thankful" brought you to the commercially to people's ears.
Yes.
And then you had the title track Green Chimneys. The title track Blessing in Disguise. Don't Waste My Time, Know Your Worth, and the thought-provoking Conscious Mind. So that album was for a sophomore album. You came back strong, even stronger with that album.
Yeah, and it was all
personnel as well on that album.
Yeah, so I again, it's just really me just trying to be true and honest about how I was feeling about myself and music at that particular time. Branford Marsalis is on there too. I went to New York and recorded him on the title piece, Blessed in Disguise. So I invested in that particular record. I really invested a lot of thought and emotional kind of deposits in that record, because it was kind of like me telling all my story to that point in that record. So it's quite draining emotionally to make that record. I did it with a fantastic producer, Adam Mosley, who now resides in LA. And anyway, so after I did that record, and it didn't live up to the sort of commercial expectations of being on a major label, the wheels started to fall off, because you sort of reality kicks in, and you're like, oh, it was by the time I'd finished the record, I'd had about 10 to 15 different A&R people A&R the record. They were changing daily, like staff at the McDonald's. And so by the time the record was finished, the guy that was A&R in the project was just like, I could just see him. He was looking, going, well, what's this? I didn't sign this. I mean, what is this? Where's the hits? Where's the, I'm on a label with Jason Donovan, for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean? So, the wheels fell off. But for me, it was like a huge emotional roller coaster and blow, because I was like, well, what do you mean this is my masterpiece? What do you mean you're not? What do you mean you don't understand? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean you don't? What single? What are you talking about? This is the album. I didn't understand all that stuff. I wasn't interested in any of that.
You're a creative artist.
So, reality kicks in, but then I just kind of, after I did that record, I withdrew, after, I got dropped from the label. I just kind of withdrew from that world, and I just thought, man, I can invest all this time and energy in something, and someone's going to turn around and tell me about, oh, we can't this and that. I'm like, get the hell out of here, man. And I've vowed I'll never ever, I don't want to be in that situation ever again in my life, where, the onus is on someone's going to take my things and telling me about they're not going to do this and do that, and then they got ownership of my stuff. What? No, man. Black people need to own their stuff. That's the problem with a lot of black people in the world, man, is that we don't own nothing. We don't own anything. We sell everything. You know? Motown sold their stuff, their shit. All the labels in Jamaica sold all their shit. You know, you go to Japan, man, you're going to pay £50 for a Studio One record. I'm telling you. You know, we don't own anything. You know, we sell all our stuff to the highest bidder every time. We don't own anything. You know, and that's a huge thing. That's a huge you know, it's a huge thing. We sell off all our goods, man. You know, I just felt that I just never wanted to be in that situation anymore. So I kind of.
But on the creative side of the album, I mean, Conscious Mind, it really understood it. How did that tune come about?
I think it was the B-line, man. I remember being in my flat in Hackney, and I heard zook 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 zook, and it's just a chant. You know, it becomes a chant. That was the seed of that piece, was the bass line, and from there everything blossoms from that seed idea. And you know, I think that's how most of us write, is from bass line. Sorry?
Did it come quickly after that?
What, the actual piece? You're talking about that specific piece? Yeah, everything just fell into place after I had the bass line. It writes itself. You know, once you, I think that. Well, I guess for me, speaking from my point of view, I think that once you get a really solid seed of an idea for a song, everything else just fits around it. It just starts to. It just all just starts. It's like painting, you know. You put a little splash of paint on the canvas, and you step away, and you either go yeah or nay.
I hear you.
You know?